All right, you guys knew I would have to talk about this one. The Walmart of metal bands has returned in an attempt to avert the tragedy of having their gravy train potentially derailed following the loss of their vocalist. And how are they going to overcome that? What are they going to do to make sure that the fans still have the same talking points they used to? Well, it's to give them exactly what they want to hear by retreading the familiar ground of the At the Gates in Flames worship, all that typical Gothenburg sound that Americans have no business trying to reproduce. And doing it now in 2024 is about as silly as it was when the metalcore movement tried to do it in the first place. And when you listen to a band like this, to me, I just get the imagery of someone with a cup in front of a soda machine that has all the different flavors of high fructose corn syrup, and you go to each one and you try to come up with the perfect concoction of garbage to put in your system. This band tries to give that to their audience, but they do it with the benefits of having speed and the classic neoclassical solo here and there. All of the things that people are going to want to talk about in metal if they don't really care about what's being broadcast to them. As long as it's fast, as long as it's brutal, as long as it's heavy, you're fine. And this song does have that. It sounds exactly like what I remember the band sounding, even though people were telling me they were no longer a metalcore band for a very long time. This is about what every band in the mid 2000s that was trying to sound like Gothenburg was going to sound like. And there's no reason for me to go into talking about the songwriting because that's not the focal point here, although there is a complete drop off and then a mid-pace section, and I don't know, it doesn't matter. If you like this band, you're going to be excited that they're back. If you don't like this band, you're not going to be excited that they're back and you're not going to care. I'm of course in the latter boat, but it's one of those things where when a band undergoes a tragedy like this, what I'd like to have seen was not a rerouting of the ship, because when you have a band like this, when you have a brand that you've established, you don't want to obviously reinvent who you are. But one of the most tasteful ways I remember it happening was when AC/DC put out Back in Black, opened their album with a dirge, acknowledge what happened, and move on, and do it in a strong and solemn way. This gesture that the band is throwing at you now is an attempt to show you we're just as fast, heavy, brutal, and we haven't missed a step. So don't worry. Obviously, the front man we had, the ambassador for the genre that we had fronting the band, is no longer here, but we still are who we are. We're not going to change who we are. It's a fine formula, but it's a formula, and it resembles almost like if you're in like a grade school math class and the teacher's walking by about to say pencils down, and you have to frantically like look at the people next to you and try to scramble and look at their answers and write the same things and just do it right before the examination time is done. That's what this is. Just get the metal talking points out. Make sure you fucking put them down. Make sure people are gonna hear the same shit they want to hear. You'll be safe. You'll be good to go. That's what this is. So, is that enough? Is that enough to make sure that their existence is worth it? I would not agree that it is, because remember that this song only exists because one man thought he no longer needed to. It's not enough. Thanks for listening.